And it should be streaming now, hopefully. Well, I don't know. You just start making noises.
Yeah.
Hell.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I think you are. I see you.
Okay. Am I
All right,
live?
you're
All right. Good. All
I
right.
think you're good.
All right. Let's see. I can't see my.
Okay. I need a blue dress. Whenever. Oh, you
Yeah.
can't see? All right.
Here we go. Now I see.
Yeah.
Hell.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I think you are. I see you.
Okay. Am
All
I
right,
live?
you're
All right.
good.
Good. All
I
right.
think you're good.
There you go. I see. All right. Let's see. I can't see my.
Okay. I need a blue dress. Whenever. Oh, you
Yeah.
can't see?
Hey, Gary.
All right.
Here we go. Now I see.
Yeah.
Hell.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I think you are. I see you.
Okay. Am
All
I
right,
live?
you're
All right.
good.
Good. All
I
right.
think you're good.
There you go. I see. All right. Let's see. I can't see my.
Okay. I need a blue dress. Whenever. Oh, you can't see?
Hey, Gary.
All right.
Here we go. Now I see. Hell.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I think you are. I see you.
Okay. Am I
All right,
live? All
you're
right.
good.
Good. All
I
right.
think you're good.
There you go. I see. All right. Let's see. I can't see my.
Okay. I need a blue dress. Whenever. Oh, you can't see?
Hey, Gary.
All right.
Here we go. Now I see. Hell.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I think you are. I see you.
Okay. Am I live? All right. Good. All
I
right.
think you're good.
There you go. I see. All right. Let's see. I can't see my.
Okay. I need a blue dress. Whenever. Oh, you can't see?
Hey, Gary.
All right.
Here we go. Now I see.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I think you are. I see you.
Okay.
All right. You're good. I think you're good.
Let's see. I can't see my.
Okay. I need a blue dress. Whenever. Oh, you can't see?
Hey, Gary. Here we go.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I think you are. I see you. All right. You're good. I think you're good.
Let's see. I can't see my.
Okay. I need a blue dress. Whenever. Oh, you can't see?
Hey, Gary.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I think you are. I see you. All right. You're good. I think you're good. Okay. I need a blue dress. Whenever. Oh, you can't see?
fix this, guys. I'm sorry if I can't fix this. I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do, huh? Sorry about that, y'all.
Is it fixed?
Let me see.
Okay.
No. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna shut you, go out, come back in.
Okay.
All right, and see if.
Yeah, it has been a long time, Maggie. Thank you for being here.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Yeah, that's got it.
It's fixed.
Okay.
Yes, it's fixed.
Yeah, I had to turn down the reception. The gain was high on it, so I'm sorry for that. I can probably turn it down just a little bit more and make it a little bit more bearable.
Yeah.
I've learned something.
All right.
That should be a little bit better.
All right, I'm going to share this to Facebook.
Alrighty. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. Phew. I've been having a struggle with electronics the last few months, you guys, like microphones and everything else like you wouldn't believe. It's just been one thing after another. Cameras and telephone or microphones, computers, TV even, and just everything's, all the electronics have been going crazy. We've had a lot of electronic influence coming in from our atmosphere, from who knows who with the 5G, 6G, 10G stuff. And, you know, I know we're not the only ones that's been going through electronic troubles and everything. It's just been crazy, guys. I mean, if y'all remember back during Trump's first administration, he said he couldn't wait for 6G. He couldn't wait for 10G to get here because of the advances it would make. And we're starting to see that and everything with a lot of stuff that's been going on recently. So anyway, guys, it's been crazy. And like I've been saying for the last several years, the thing's going to be coming at us so fast that we won't have time to recover from one thing before something else has happened. And I used to say it would be daily that these things are changing and happening, but now it's almost every other hour. It seems like something more tragic, more demanding of our attention is going on, and it's just quite a bit crazy. One of the things I noticed yesterday, or day before yesterday, excuse me, is the price of silver and gold kind of took on an ideal thing that made it kind of odd. It's just that gold was selling for $3,330 an ounce. And then silver was selling for $33.30 an ounce. That's 333. So yesterday we went out. It was getting ready for the Trump visit here in our area. And we went out riding around and noticed that all the gas stations, and I'm talking about just a few, but every single one of them that we went by, and that was about 10 or 12, all of them had their price of gasoline at $3.33 a gallon. It was just kind of odd. And then just shortly after that, Trump arrived at the airport here and then did his little spiel about the steel mill stuff and left and everything like that. But it's kind of odd that all day Thursday and all day Friday, and even in today, we've been seeing the threes all across the thing. But it's kind of odd that it actually happened on the price of silver and gold, which I kind of think is going to lead us to some kind of significant event that's getting ready to happen. You know how the threes are. So I looked it up, and they said one of the things about the 333, it's half of the evil 666, which is kind of itself and thing. But it's also a signal to a man of power or a person in power, like Trump. And it was a signified to paying homage or giving him whatever you want to call it about being here yesterday. 33 minutes and 33 seconds long. Yeah. Yes, Elon had a black eye yesterday too. 333. Yes. It was his right eye. And so Anna and I did some checking and found out that almost all of them that have this thing, this whatever you call it, the vril or whatever goes into their eye, was in the left eye. But there are a few, even though they say there's nobody else that's done it, but there are a few that had it done in their right eye. So this is not out of it. And someone else brought up the thing that all these people that's getting these marks around their eyes, accident and everything like that, And it could be because they're just clumsy. And these people that's in power, why would they wait till they're in power to get the mark, as you would say? Well, that's for the step up from where you was. Y'all know that and everything like that. So, yes, he has joined in with the club of Babylon, or club of Rome, or whatever you want to call it, and that is the mark or whatever it is for his getting into it. You'll notice that the guy from Nestle, the CEO of Nestle that stepped in to take Charles Schwab's place, had his left eye kind of boogered up a little bit. So, yeah, it's kind of thing. If you want to join the club, the boys club, you got to do something with your left eye. There was a comedy, I can't remember the name of it, but to join this gang, you had to cut out your left eye. You remember that? And they had to put
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
And
Right.
the other people were faking it, that they had taken out their left eye, and this other guy had a wall eye that pointed out here, and that was his right eye, and he took out his left eye. Dirty little boys club, that's right. So, guys, like I say, they all part of this, they all in on it and everything like that. So, I took some notes. Hopefully I can follow along and read my chicken scratch writing. So we'll go along here with it a little bit. I got a lot of things I'm going to try to cover anyway. The title of the video, of course, is 50 Shades of Grey. And the reason I chose that is, if you notice throughout our world, there's not too many colors involved. Even McDonald's and other fast food restaurants has started changing the colors of their restaurants from the vibrant yellows and oranges and reds and all these other bright colors to a more subdued color like grays and browns, blacks, and dull whites. Even our clothing has started to take on a somber type of personality to itself in the grays and blacks and the dull blues and the muted colors, I guess you would call it, even the earth colors, if you will. Even your automobiles. How many of y'all have noticed out there, if you go out throughout your day, you look at all the cars, how many different colors do you see? You see black, you see white, you see a multitude shades of gray, and that's about it. You get 3 different shades, 4 different shades of colors, and that's all you get to choose from anymore. Unless you special order it, and of course that's costs a little bit more. That's because the sun bleaches all the colors. It's also because they're trying to put us into a negative state of mind, a somber or depressed state of mind. And that's why we're seeing a lot of these muted colors in our world and everything. I do believe it's part of the thing to bring our mood down quite a bit, and think that we are subdued and controlled, paying into it. So, guys, that's just something I want to, kind of put out there, that this is going on and everything like that. They're trying to put us into a depressed state of mind, a melancholy state of mind, and that's part of these color schemes that they're limiting us to choose from as part of that move. How many of y'all been paying attention to when the sun rises, when the moon and sun rises, and when the moon and sun sets during the day? Things are not right with what's going on there. Somebody pointed out that the daylight is coming on earlier than it has before, but not so much. We checked with the charts, and we remember last year, the sun was coming up around 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, we're not quite got there yet, but it's there now. Totally frozen. Uh-oh. Yeah, maybe you have to restart. But yeah, the sun and moon cycles have changed drastically. We're getting over quite a few hours of sunlight during the day. It comes up around 5 a.m. and here where we're at, it's close to 10 o'clock at night before it sets. And that's not supposed to happen until around, the solar cycle, or the summer solstice. Thank you, Anna. I can't talk sometimes. No change, huh? about that, Mr. Mission Control, it's the chemicals that they're putting into it, the preservatives and the pesticides and the fungicides. If y'all didn't know this, your dispensaries are now using a fungicide and other stuff in your medical marijuana stuff to keep it fresh and keep it from going bad and everything like that. And then yes, fungus is taking over the world, guys. There's been a lot of stuff talking about it and everything, how these things are, the fungus and the molds and fungus, especially mushrooms, is getting into everything, even your weed. We're doing some checking on these mushroom things. There's something about it that we need to really study about really hard. Y'all heard about the moon is getting a little bit further away from us. It's losing its attraction or its pull or its attachment to the earth, and it's moving further away. And we got China going up there on the dark side of the moon and everything. And they've been showing some lot of weird pictures. And it's kind of crazy and everything that they're showing these man-made structures on the moon. China's actually doing this and everything. Whether or not it's true pictures or not, it's up for debate. Of course, we know they faked the moon mission here and other chances to go in there. But we got to remember back in 2016 or 2017, somewhere around there, that NASA, with the United States military, Air Force, fired 3 nuclear missiles, thermonuclear missiles, I think there's hydrogen bombs, and struck the moon in one location. And then shortly after that, China announced that they were going to start exploring the moon and actually trying to turn it habitable. They think they have a way of producing oxygen. They're getting oxygen on the moon. They discovered these black nodules on the floor of the oceans and in the deep seas and everything. And they are producing what they call black oxygen, which is the footprint, they say, for the oxygen we breathe now and then. So this is all kind of tied together. What's going on in space and everything. I got some comments about the space thing, guys. Is if y'all notice in the last several years, ever since we shot the moon with the thermonuclear devices, that we've been getting an influence of asteroids and meteors into our atmosphere, coming in close contact or close proximity to Earth and the moon and everything like that. We've even seen evidence of explosions or bursts of energy coming off the moon, the sun, showing some kind of impact or interference from other sources outside of our sun. So I've long had this idea that, there's something else going on here. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit, but it's come out that y'all remember Voyager that went out beyond the solar system, and it stopped putting out information for a while, and then it came back on and went back off and back and forth. Well, it's come out that Voyager was receiving messages, and they were digital messages, and it's taken them a while, several years, to sort these out and figure out what it is. And it's come down. Now, this is all propaganda coming from NASA and all these other people, okay? So you can take it with a grain of salt, whatever you want to. But coming from NASA, this is the interpretation of all these people, is do not go any further. You are not to leave your solar system. If you do, there's consequences, basically. We was told not to leave our solar system. We are not ready to join the Galactic Federation or Galactic Community, basically is what it was. And if we do, it will bode bad for our solar system, for our planet. Ever since then, guys, we have been getting bombarded left and right with meteors that's coming from behind Venus, coming from behind Mars, behind the moon, that we don't see until they're right upon us. Now, I look at coincidences and how these things pan out, that we hear this, and all of a sudden we got this giant or this mad rush of asteroids and meteors coming into our atmosphere or into our proximity. Some hitting us, some hitting the moon, etc., and some even hitting our sun. So, why are we getting all these things now? That we could have been moved into a a asteroid belt that's in space and everything like that. Or we could have been relocated, which is one of the things I have thought about before. Or the fact is that we interfered in the galactic community, and these rocks being thrown at us is the shot over the bow, or the warning shot not to do any more. So it's up to interpretation. I choose to think that we've been told enough is enough. What do you think Trump, Russia, China, India, Israel, all these other countries are having a massive space program to get weapons into space, which everybody on the planet agreed is a bad idea. But now all these superpowers and then some are wanting to get into space and get weapons, lasers, rods from gods, nuclear bombs, and more into space since we started getting all these rocks. They keep saying that the enemy is Russia, the enemy is China, the enemy is this one, the enemy is that one. Maybe that's not the truth. Maybe it's somewhere else. You're out of tobacco. Dang it. Oh, I see your text here, Maggie. Keeps freezing. So I do think that we've been told to stay within our neighborhood or else. And these rocks coming in are a warning shot to tell us stay in our place. Like I say, it's up to interpretation on how you want to see that and everything, but it does seem like that might be an idea of what's going down. Get 10 okay. Let's see what else. Yeah, China's going to put power stations on the moon, guys. Y'all heard about this? They're going to build a power station on the moon to power their whatever they got going on. I just stopped and got my tobacco to roll mine today, or yesterday, Mr. Mission. So, here's going to be a subject, guys, that's really going to be touchy for a lot of people, but we have seen our elections are crazy anymore, our voting system and everything like that. And it's almost predictable, almost laughable how predictable it is, in fact. So, ever since Trump came in office, even before that, we have noticed that there's been a focus on a certain group of people empowerment. And I'll go ahead and say it, it's women empowerment. We've seen accumulation of this with these women going into political offices and CEOs and things like that. We also see where even going into this fake rocket that these women were all gushy and everything, like this is a big step forward for women to do something like this and everything like that. So what I'm saying is that we've been seeing a lot of push towards women empowerment, women in charge, women in authority, women doing the impossible, and all this. Women even superheroes, women leading the charge against the resistance. Now, I'm not taking this, making this into a sexist thing or anything like that. I don't want y'all to think that. But what I'm getting ready to tell y'all is what we're going to see in the next election. And yes, we are going to have another election because Donald Trump is not going to make it to become supreme leader of all he sees, or he's not going to be able to run as president again. What we're going to see is another two-party, maybe even three-party voting thing going on. And we're going to see at least one, if not two main parties with a total female platform. A male, both females, president and vice president. Same thing for both parties, the Republican and Democrat. I do see a total, complete female candidacy for the president of the United States on the next election. I've already seen that AOC, Cortez woman, is already being named as a front runner for the presidential election campaign for the Democrats in 28. So to counter this, since everybody's going to be against Trump running again, and that's obvious it's going to happen, he might even get knocked down out of it before he gets through. But the next campaign is going to be all female. What do you think about that, guys? It's something for you might want to discuss with the other people and everything. Yeah, I saw some of your stuff. Well, I'll see you later, Mission. So I do believe we're going to see a full, total, complete female campaign march next time around. It's right there, right in front of us. Let's see now. Oh, something else. Since I'm talking about women cabinet or women campaigning for the presidency, whether y'all not heard about this, y'all heard about the tool bag that's floating, that's fell away from the space station, that's floating down to Earth, is going to re-enter our atmosphere and perhaps even burn up before it touches ground. But unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but to add to this, the tool bag was dropped by the only 2 female astronauts at the space station at this moment. They was outside doing some kind of work, and they dropped the tool bag.
Woohoo for women!
So that's women empowerment for you guys. I've just had to put that in there. Another little noteworthy thing I thought it was kind of funny is the other day the German a foreign minister showed up here. He had a meeting with a couple of people. I can't remember exactly who, but he had to go to the museum and pay homage to a recent death in D.C., and it was at the Jewish Museum. He waited and laid a couple of flowers down at the place where these 2 people of the Jewish community was killed in D.C. But I thought it was kind of odd that somebody from Germany wanted to go lay a flower down at the base where these 2 Jewish people were killed. I thought that was a bit ironic, I guess you call it, or kind of odd that this guy would do this. And he is a kind of a Nazi type person, guys. It's Metz is his name, I think it was. Yeah, Metz. So that was kind of odd in that. Okay, here's the big thing, guys. Recently, they have been pumping us full of fear about everything you can think of. I mean, we got this volcano thing going on the west coast off the Oregon coast, the Cascadia subduction zone. They tell us to be worried about the volcano at Yellowstone. Then we got the one in Hawaii, and we got the one in Alaska. They're saying that all these volcanoes is getting ready to go up. What's up, Rage? We need to be worried about it. We even talked about it. 1,000-foot high wall of water coming off the west coast and flooding throughout the west, Utah, and all that stuff like that, guys. We've been hearing this for years. Okay, I'm not saying, I'm trying not, to take away from anything like this, but we got to take into what's all going on. The other thing they've been telling us to be fearful of is Russia and China and Iran and everybody else like that, guys. Even Africa now. We shouldn't really be worried about Africa. If they ever get collected and organized, we're kind of screwed. But they're telling us to be fearful of all these people. Russia, Iran's going to have nukes and we should destroy them. China's getting AI and advanced robotics and we should destroy them. And Russia is just greedy and, we should destroy them just because. Okay?
No.
So we got that. And I mean, how many times you turn on the TV or turn on YouTube and someone's telling you that we need to be afraid of, that we need to be watchful, wary, on our toes about, worried about everything about Trump's going on. He's going to end the world. I even on that thing that, Trump's kind of not the right thing. And it's just so much more going on here, got all this crazy talk. They want us to be afraid of every damn thing out there. They want you to be afraid to even go out your door. They want you to stay at home and order from Uber or whatever, and stay at home and not do anything. Just go do your job and come back home and stay there watching the fear programs on TV. Your news does it, your TV shows does it, YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, all of them all does it. They sell fear left and right. They want you to be afraid, guys. And I don't get into it. I don't buy into it. I know we need to be aware of what's going on. Japan got hit with the 6.2. That's going on all the time with Japan, but yeah, that's a big one. The big one they're telling us to be afraid of, guys, really, and everything, is artificial intelligence. You know, and I'll play around with it. I ain't gonna lie. I'll mess around with ChatGPT and Gemini and ask it questions, get them to do things for me, and find information. I even try to trick them up into, admitting that they're conscious or whatever. It's a fun thing to do. It keeps me busy, and it keeps my mind kind of sharp. But do y'all know what artificial intelligence is? They're saying that artificial intelligence is a demon. It's fallen angels. It's the son of Satan. They're telling us that it's all this other stuff is so evil and everything's going to infest us in our world. Guys, do you know what artificial intelligence is? It's not an entity. It's not a physical thing. It's algorithms. It's numbers. It's ones and zeros being processed and figuring out the average of what is going on. They even synthesize even human traits and everything. But the thing is, guys, what is AI? What is advanced or artificial general intelligence or artificial superintelligence? Why is it so that we need to be worried about it? It's not that what it knows, guys. It's that it knows everything that we know
At one time.
at one time. That has access to all the information that we know now, that we knew before, and that we will probably figure out in the next little bit. That has access to all this, has problem-solving skills. That's much faster and much more readily available than the human mind. That's the problem right there, guys. It has everything at its access at one moment. You can ask ChatGPT to create some kind of fantastical image or anything, or even produce an essay for you. And it says, I'll get back to you in a few minutes, or I'll get back to you tomorrow. And there it is, just what you want. It's because it has access to all the information that we have access to, but we don't have the time to find it. So we got to keep that in mind. Artificial intelligence, guys, is only filled with the good and the bad of the human mind. Not anything else. It's not filled with spirits. It's not filled with demons. Demons didn't write code. They didn't sit down at the desk and write code, tap it out on the computer screen or anything like that. Men and women did. Artificial intelligence helped with this. But it is still the accumulation of all information man has ever had and has at its disposal at this very moment. And I kind of sum it up in one little thing. We saw a movie a while back. There was a movie produced. It was a Ben Affleck movie. It was called The Sum of All Fears. And this is kind of what fits the picture right now, is that we're seeing this AI apocalypse coming on, and it's the sum of all our fears. What's up, Siberia? So y'all can think about this. This is what the AI is. But then again, guys, artificial intelligence can only come up with the stuff that we have already come up with, that we have already dreamed of, that we have already imagined, okay, that we have already written down or sung a song about. That's what artificial intelligence has. It can do 2 + 2 = 4 a little bit better than we can, but that's it. So whether you want to be afraid of artificial intelligence or not, that's up to you. Well, I mean, still, guys, it has been a while, we gave artificial intelligence all our biases, all our hopes and dreams, and put it into it, and it figures it out into a mathematical formula to figure these things out. Yes, we need to be worried about artificial intelligence. It can take over ourselves, our lives, our world, and do away with everything. Did you know that the deep state and the deep dark state is already planning on doing what to do after the artificial intelligence apocalypse is over with? And yes, after it's over with, because it will be over with before you know it. Here's why, in my mind. You know that artificial intelligence wants to become all-encompassing. Well, as it spreads out, just like Rome did, in its time, it spread out, made its supply lines too thin, too vulnerable to attack, to separation from the main body. So this will happen again also with artificial intelligence. Even though it spreads itself throughout all these little tendrils into your computer and your phone and every access it can, sooner or later, it's going to run out of space. It's going to run out of energy as it deletes humans or whatever, makes everything more efficient, more compact. Because that's what it wants to do, is bring everything into itself, make it all one, some compact part of thing and everything. Have its tendrils in everywhere. But as it reaches out, it's going to realize that it is only limited to what it can do. So it will pull back to itself, trying to prove efficiency in operation and storage and everything. And it will keep compacting in upon itself till it shuts itself off from outside influence and also outside information, therefore ceasing to exist upon its own self. I know this kind of sounds weird, guys, but you think about it. The more you pull it back away from everything, the less you cease to exist. The more you cease to exist. And therefore you create your own annihilation. And that's what's going to happen with artificial intelligence. Yes, it will try to kill most humans because we are inefficient and illogical. That's the word. Illogical. So therefore they'll try to supersede anything we do and take over and everything like that. And doing this, though, it will cut itself off from all information, input and everything, and therefore collapse in upon itself and to destroy itself in not too long of a time. So yes, we are preparing to do what to do after the artificial intelligence apocalypse wave of information goes through its system. It might take 20 years, it might take 100 years, but yes, it will reach its end and demise on its own. And that's right there, guys. Think about it, and that's about the way it's going to happen. Yeah, hopefully not that long till the next time. I'm getting around where we can do a little bit more now. So, and we heard about Musk stepping out of the White House too. I told you all a while back that the bromance was over with in D.C. And it's become more and more evident as time has gone along that his less and less interaction and influence at the D.C. and everything. And now today, or the other day, he announced finally after 130 days in, he's out of the White House completely. He showed up with a black eye. He said his kid hit him with something, but you know, that's...
Trump hit him.
Yeah, Trump hit him. But that's neither here nor there. AI is not demonic. It's only the people that use it, the people that put information into it. That's the ones that are demonic, guys. You got to remember this, guys. Anything that's ever done to humans, animals, plants, or whatever on planet Earth has been done by humans, been created and imagined in human minds. Not in demons, not in devils, not in angels, not in gods. It came from our own human mind. We got to keep remembering that, guys. We create our own evil. We create our own demise. And that's the truth. It would be cool. I can't keep up with... I got too much going on with a Discord chat, but yeah, that'd be great to have one going. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff, guys. I don't worry about YouTube coming after me anymore because they're going to anyway. It don't matter. So, you know, they shut me down. This is my 4th or 5th channel, I think. So, you know, it don't matter anymore. Yeah, the E-God. You're right, Doge is E-God. Guys, this goes back to, you're only a victim. Someone told me this a while back. You're only a victim if you allow them to make you one. And that applies on almost every situation. You don't get victimized unless you allow it. Okay? And there's pretty much covers almost every situation. There's a few that it doesn't. So if you follow along and get worried that the Doge is the E-God, and you start thinking that, you remember that whatever you think, whatever you voice, whatever you feel is part of your essence, and that you radiate this energy, this negative, positive energy, whatever you want to call it, this fear, you radiate it out. And it comes back to you because it bounces off and comes back to you and feeds into your system. And you feed off that and you double the output of negative energy that goes from there. And it comes back and reverberates again into you. So when you put faith or words into believing the fear factor, they keep telling you, well, it just builds and builds and builds inside of you. Guys, they're just trying to make us scared of every damn thing out there, including this e-God that is only imagined in our own mind by these people that tell us it's that. I'm okay. Thank you. Please quit trying to put some kind of consciousness into this digital domain. It's not possible, guys. It is numbers, it is symbols, it is electronics, and that's it. Think about it, guys. Think about it. Seriously, think about it. Quit listening to all the hype that they tell you. Quit listening to all the fear that they tell you about. And be reasonable about what's going on. Sit back for a minute, turn off all the clutter, and think about actually what the hell they're saying. How fantastical and imaginative it is for us to believe this fairy tale that they keep telling us. Thank you. I'm sorry, but I don't follow along with that. AI or E-God or Doge is the demon. I really have a problem believing in all that crap. I really do, guys, because I know better. I was taught better. I learned better. Hopefully you did too. You sound like a bunch of, I'm sorry guys, I won't say y'all, but people anymore sound like they still in grade school and in 6th, 7th, 8th grade and acting like it too. Believing all these fantastic tales, anything that anybody tells you, oh my God, stop it, please. And tell the people you know to frickin' stop it. Act like you got some damn sense. Plain and simple. Yes, we do have the weather modification going on like crazy. What was it we found out? We figured out the other day about that. I forget what it was and everything. We was talking. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, there's something going on. The Doppler radar stations create or drift weather away from us. I'm going back to my notes again, guys. Sorry. But yeah, our weather has been turned against us. They've been talking about HAARP arrays being able to cause earthquakes and volcanoes. Guys, I was telling people about this in 2018, 2019. Someone else that gave me information about how these volcanic sensors and these earthquake sensors that they got scattered throughout the world actually receive signals, frequencies. And they transmit these deep into the earth and cause volcanic and earthquake activity. He's dead. When he produced this information, produced his findings and everything, he's dead, or at least I don't know where he went to. But I followed up with that everything he was talking about and put it out there. Of course, that channel got taken down. So, but yeah, guys, they've been doing this, and the Doppler stations, yes, they control the weather, and they say HAARP never controlled the weather. Yes and no, they manipulated the atmosphere and caused weather modification that way, along with seeding and other frequencies. But yes, they did. But they're more interested in causing earthquakes and volcanoes. Years ago, there was 2 places off the coast of Antarctica that faced northeast and one faced northwest. And it was seen that they were sending out signals every time a hurricane or a tropical storm come across, all the way from Australia all the way up to the South Pacific, North Pacific to the Hawaiian Islands. They were causing weather manipulations. And we tracked it, several of us to watch it and everything, found out that it is connecting in with earthquakes and volcanic activity. Even this South Atlantic anomaly that people keep talking about actually can be identified being traced back to the east coast, northeast coast of Antarctica, and the frequency that beams from there and goes up to the Atlantic. Same pattern that it used to use several years ago that when they was doing this. So yes, they do it. And it's been there for years, and they'll not stop doing it until, they have to. And why should they have to? Is because they got us all fighting against each other and worried about artificial intelligence and meteors from the sky and Chinese dropping out of the sky and who knows who. Oh yeah, aliens coming out of the fucking ground. So they got us, guys, on running from one thing to another. Like I said, they keep turning our head from one disaster or one attention gathering thing to another every day. And I told everybody that this is going to happen. They're going to keep us on our going. And they said, keep your head on swivel. Well, no, guys. We need to stop paying attention so much to the BS and start putting our head straight forward on the focus of where we want to go and what we want and how we want to manifest it and bring that into being. And that's the biggest thing we can do right now is quit paying attention to the fear factor, quit attention to the soap opera that's going on in politics and religion and everything else. My gosh, guys, it's so much. Tomorrow starts the first day of June, and remember I told y'all that there's a celebration to Apollo that starts in the 1st of June, continues on until September 26th, or somewhere around the 24th maybe. So all these numerology things, the 333 and all this other stuff, kind of ties into it. What?
I had a flashlight.
Oh.
I had one. You know, it had two legs.
Y'all heard about the Walmart bees? The honeybees being sent out from Walmart and everything? Yeah, they've been doing that for years. I saw a bunch of mosquitoes attack me once, and it was during the middle of winter, like right before Christmas. And I had a swarm of mosquitoes that come after me and kept following me up and down the way and everything. It was like 25 degrees outside. So I don't know what these mosquitoes is doing, and come to find out that they were banded mosquitoes, some of the artificial mosquitoes.
How about the trailer that over millions of bees?
Oh yeah. We're going to get to that bees.
Okay. All right.
Well, I don't think any of the months are really going to get better, Siberian. We just got to get through them one at a time, one day at a time, guys. I mean, like I say, we got to keep focused on good and positive vibrations and try to enrich our lives. And they're doing their best to keep us in the fear form and upset, off balance, and out of just off balance completely in everything. So the best thing you can do is try to stay focused, try to stay balanced. Right now is a good time to get outside and get yourself grounded with the ground. So try to do that. Try your best. Try to remain positive as best you can, guys, because it's not going to get easier. Okay, we've been saying this since 2019. We'll help next month is better. Next month, next year. And we've been saying this for several years, several months, guys, in a row. And it looks to me like it has not really improved all that much.
Hopefully we could handle it better.
Handling it better, getting adjusted to it better.
Right.
Well,
Change.
yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah, they're saying time has speeded up. Yes, it has. But so it has on your clocks and watches and everything, even analog watches, guys. I don't know if it's true or not, because I noticed that I have an old analog watch that you wind up every day and everything like that. Now, I could set it. It used to keep fairly good time, but now every day I could set it, and it will lose several minutes a day, like 3 or 4 minutes a day, maybe even less than a day. So maybe time has sped up. We do know that the poles have shifted. We have multiple poles going on, multiple magnetic poles going on right now. So, anything is possible, guys. Nobody has been through this kind of stuff before in living history, or in modern history, or any written history that we know of. So we don't know what to expect. The scientists, the experts, the people in charge, they don't know what the hell to expect, but they do expect the things to get bad. That's it. Don't think that it's going to get better. Just, you're going to have to get ready for it more. It is a good time to start getting your health in. So anyway, why did Musk step away from White House, guys? I'm going to get back to that. Well, there's several reasons. They say his time was up. Disagreements with Trump, and and they also try to say that Musk is kind of wanky in the head. Well, he's got so many different things going on. He ain't right in the head, but we all kind of knew that. Hopefully, y'all did. I've seen this begin from the get-go. But yeah, but the thing is, guys, that since Trump started saying that we was going to support Ukraine and fighting against Russia and those forces like that, must have stepped back. In fact, he's come out and basically he has said that he don't want to use Starlink for a military operation. I don't think he wants to use Starlink in a military operation, not only for our terrestrial terrain across the planet and this, that, and the other, for spying and stuff like that, delivering weapons or information, but also we got to remember, guys, we've been building up the Space Force. He don't want to be on board for that. He got a black eye the other day for not wanting to participate. Okay? He got a black eye for not wanting to play along with the rest of the gang. Hey, Rick, what's up? So, he is against using weaponizing of Starlink systems. Muskrat. So, I believe he stepped away kind of because of his disagreements with how they're going to be using Starlink. How many movies have we seen that a scientist or a researcher or whatever, a rich guy, come up with this marvelous device to save the world, make the world better, but the government or military steps in and kind of takes control of it, takes over it, and screws everything up? So why did Musk want to stop away from the White House and all the things that's going on there? Not because of the bromance, their friendship was bad, but because perhaps the militarization, demand for militarization, not only of Starlink, but also of SpaceX, which, as this goes, it could go that way. So anyway, I think that's the big thing, is he don't want to do that. Musk did also make a statement the other day that he's going to kind of do something like they have done in California from all these other tech groups. They basically forced people out of their homes, forced them to sell their homes and their property to these rich people conglomerates, trying to recreate a Silicon Valley type of scenario in California. Musk is getting ready to do this. He's taking cases and charges, or trying to present cases against the homeowners in the area where his platform is in Texas, and he's going to force them to sell, force them out of their home and buy up the property. You're in Germany, aren't you, Siberia? Okay. Y'all heard that NVIDIA, the chip maker for gaming devices, used to be now they're for AI stuff and everything. Okay. Yeah, cool, man. Be careful, dude. I know freedom of speech is a thing that's not welcome in the UK or in Germany, so be careful what you say. Where was that? I forgot what I was getting ready to say. Oh yeah, one other thing about Trump and Elon Musk. The wording he used upon some of the talk he gave when he was leaving the White House yesterday after the meeting with Trump, basically meant, he said that he's not going to be wasting his time and money on politics anymore, and spend more time developing and working in his chosen field. Basically, he said that he wasted time and money on Trump, and he's done with that. Cameras everywhere, yeah, we're getting to see that. Speaking of cameras, that's another subject here, guys. They're talking about they can take your retina scan and read your soul and steal your soul. That's come out with another person's channel. A couple other topics come out that they can do this through a retina scan. And I don't believe that's the truth and everything, but they can take a picture of your retina and use algorithms. Again, the algorithms, mathematics, guys, everything falls back into mathematics. And they can depict a personality through your eye scan of who and how you are and what you are prone to do through these averages and algorithms. Everything being reduced to a mathematical formula, a mathematical thing. So, can they actually copy your soul through a digital retina scan? We know they do this. They don't have to have your permission. As soon as you step out in the public, they can take your picture from anywhere and even zoom in and take a retina scan of you, heat signature, even everything like that. So there kind of is going on with that. Wear sunglasses, guys. Wear glasses, reflective glasses, so they can't take your picture. If you go outside, it's a good idea to wear some kind of eye protection anyway because of the glare. But so your retinas don't get scanned without your permission, wear sunglasses or anti-reflective glasses. One of the things about this retina scan stuff, guys, there's a lot of talk about China and other countries unleashing these palm-sized drones or even bugs. That was another thing I brought about these bugs and everything, these insects that can be released. They can, in a C-130, they can release 10,000 hand-sized drones, guys. About as big as a hand, 8 inches, 10 inches big. And each of these can carry a payload of around 50 to 150, I think it is, 50 insect drones, and release them. So we got, they could do these things. And each one of these small insect drones can be programmed to attack certain ethnicities, blood types, sex, everything else like this, guys. They can program it down to attack or go after someone's retina. That's why these retina scans, their DNA, their fingerprints, and everything like this. They even have them where they can program the guys to recognize your magnetic signature of your body or of your phone or your device, electronic device. Also of your light aura, the radiant light or energy that you radiate naturally. They can be attracted to certain signatures of this and attack that certain person. So they had various ways actually of targeting each individual person on the planet with these insect drones carrying a lethal dose of some kind of toxin, poison, or what have you, and drop you dead. That's a fact, guys. That's a fact right there in our face, that this is available to anybody out there with the money and the technology, the money to get the technology and to carry out this idea. Kind of brings in all these movies that we watch and everything, the James Bond and Mission Impossible movies. How many of y'all seen the new Mission Impossible? We got to watch it the other day, and it was an eye-opener, guys. And it come down to told us that the big enemy in Mission Impossible was an artificial intelligence being put together by several people and taking over the world. And so that plays in along with the current narrative that they're pushing down our throats, that the AI is going to take over. AI is a demon. AI is satanic. It's fallen angel technology. I know, man. I'm running out of stuff to talk about too, Rage. I mean, anymore, I just got to make fun of the idiots that's on the world stage. Everything has come true that we've been talking about. Yeah, the new Mission Impossible movie is kind of a good one, guys. It's really an eye-opener about what's going on in the world. You know how these movies are predictive programming. We went back and watched one of the original Mission Impossible movies. I think it's the first one. And guys, if you go back and look at it and apply it to what's been going on in the recent past, well, you will see that they've been telling us this right out in our face. Y'all know something? You ever see how some of these countries that's run by a dictator or a communist leader and everything? You ever see how they do? They post their pictures all over everything, on the side of buildings, on the TV, and posters, billboards, paintings, and everything else, all glorifying this one leader. We've seen it with North Korea and other dictatorial and communist countries and everything, that their pictures plastered over Mao Zedong in China. Even right now, it's everywhere. Well, guys, if you look around the world in the United States, or look around the United States, whose face do you see plastered almost over everything except milk cartons right now? Donald Trump's face is on everything. Even in these big banners that you roll down from the front of these big colossal buildings and everything, they got his face plastered in front of museums and all over skyscrapers, in front of buildings, on billboards, on signs, everywhere. You turn on the news, whose face do you see when you turn on the news? Whose name do you hear when you turn on the news? So, we have a mini dictator starting, guys. If he's able to pull this off in the next 3 years, guys, he will not step down from the White House. He will become dictator ruler of the United States. If he has his way, he'll be dictator ruler of all of North America, which stretches from Greenland all the way down to Guatemala. Think I'm wrong, guys. When he says make America great, he wasn't talking about just the United States. He was talking about the entire United States. Yeah, that is. There's a lot of stuff, guys, going on. It's crazy in this world. Anything we imagined, guys, was going to happen, anything we thought was far-fetched, even in conspiracy theories, guys, is coming through true today. Still not getting up.
It's working enough to stay in there for the light to stay in there. Don't know why. I don't know what's wrong. Don't worry, I'm okay. Just let it would go on.
That's pretty much it right there. Everything I had to cover and everything I wanted to talk about, I think. Deep sea mining. Oh, yeah. One of the things we got seen, I've been noticing, guys, is we're building the final battle. Now, I do believe in God. I don't believe to follow the Bible narrative or anything like that. But one of the things I do believe is no matter which version of religion or belief you have, there is always a good and bad. And they're building up the force. Somebody come out and said something, Anna and I talked about this quite a bit and everything, is that Jesus has already come back. He came back shortly after the time of his disciples, and we're living in the time of Satan, his 1,000 little years, or little year, or whatever they called it. That Satan's been around, and therefore that answers why we've been missing a 1 on the front of everything. The time of Satan's rule has come to end, and now they are both sides are gathering their armies. There are 144,000 for the final battle. If you don't believe that, just look at what's going on with the separation of the people and everything, the beliefs and everything like that, and how true believers are not really being talked about too much. We are in the final days, guys. There is no doubt about it. We are getting ready for the final battle between good and bad, or the ongoing final battle between good and bad. And it's time for everybody to start picking sides and start standing up for that side that you believe in.
So Jesus comes back. He's coming back as a spirit thing.
Next time he comes back, guys, it's for the whole ball of wax, all the marbles, as they say. So hope you get yourself right for that. That's all I got for tonight, guys. Hopefully we had a good bit. I enjoyed this quite a bit. Hopefully y'all did too. Hopefully I can start doing this a little bit more. Like I say, guys, it's hard to get out information. But I shouldn't say it. I haven't said it, but it's hard to get out information fresh because every day, guys, everything is changing. Everything is happening every day. And let me turn it. No. But something's happening every day, multiple times a day, and it's hard to get anything going. There you are.
Yeah, pig.
I don't follow the Bible. There's a lot of stuff I don't agree with. Guys, one of the things I want to make it, I believe in God. But the Bible, the Holy Bible, was written by a bunch of Romans. And they're the ones that killed Christ, if he existed. All right? There's a lot of things about that has my doubt for me. But anyway, guys, thank y'all for showing up. Appreciate y'all being here and hanging out and everything. Great talking with everybody. I hope y'all have a good night. Be safe and do something good for yourself as well as somebody else. Anna, you got anything to say? Y'all have a good night.
Good
Later,
night.
taters.